You're listening to littlepodcast.com.
I'm not gonna claim to be a barback.
And we all know Lantz does not like a weak blow. You should come to the open mic. Oh, your friend wants to do comedy? You should come to the open mic. Everyone should come to the open mic.
Insecure, I remember when he told me how large his penis was. He's an exhibitionist. I don't think he was ashamed.
Oh, no, for sure. Everyone says they like hiking. Nobody hikes. Welcome back to another edition of Saturday Night Bite, episode number 8. I'm here with my frequent collaborator, actually not frequent collaborator, 100% collaborator on Friday night, or Saturday Night Bites is Lantz.
That's
the man.
right.
The Lantz Man. What's your Twitter handle again? At
Real Lance Man.
At Real Lantz Man, because people can't think that you're the fake one.
Right. I need to be specific.
Because that fake Lance is just fucking shit up on Twitter.
Right.
Yeah, so that's no good. All right, immediately. This cat has immediately come to my side while recording. So what's up, Lance? It's been a while.
Where do you want to start?
To quote Nickelback, it's been a while. Last episode you had some stories to tell about. I think it was around Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
After Thanksgiving, so
Christmas went a lot better.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of the extended family wasn't present, and the immediate family was better.
Well, that's good to hear.
So
you had a good Christmas. What'd you get?
I don't even know.
I mean, it's kind of the same way for me. When you get older, you just kind of like, I got a couple things.
Got some things from people.
Got a shirt.
They're already integrated into my life, and I don't remember where they came from.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a certain age when you stop getting toys and you start getting just stuff. You know?
Well, and I don't want to tell somebody to give me a present.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's cheesy. It's like, oh, I really want one thing from you. I feel like that's kind of shitty to ask somebody, like, hey, could you please specifically buy me one thing? And it's like,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Like, when you're a kid, you can do that?
Yeah.
When you're an adult, that's not cool.
No. Yeah. So, I don't know. I want you to explain something to me.
Okay.
You were sent a photograph.
When?
Well,
the photo. Oh, the famous photo.
I want to bring it up because I feel like it's going to be the episode image art on this one. So, I don't want to name names or anything to preserve the identities and that and where we're at. But let's say you were at the you work at a bar.
Yes.
Let's say as a barback, which is.
No, I'm kitchen staff.
I like the term barback though. It's like my favorite term I've heard. Like it's like a lowly below bartender position.
Oh,
it's like even below like.
But I would explain that due to injuries to some of our bartenders, I am
get injured in the line of duty.
If the line of duty is alcoholism, then yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, for a bartender, I think that can happen quite a bit.
But because of injuries to 2 bartenders,
yeah.
So 5-6 times a week.
I
am kitchen staff / barback now.
I see.
Because they can't lift things.
You're the lift guy.
Well, it's not like, oh, just lift something. It's like literally, I can't cut limes because I have a cast.
Yeah.
So,
wow. So
I'm
just,
doing
stuff.
Everything.
Well, that's good, though. It looks good on the resume.
Well, I'm not going to, claim to be a barback.
I'm sorry.
I don't want people to know that I did that.
I just like the term barback.
I feel like they should give me, extra money or something.
Yeah,
I did kind of get that, though, already, so...
That's good to hear.
That's okay.
You appreciate it.
It's not a big deal. Whatever.
Okay, but
yeah, you don't want to have barback or doorman on your resume.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, so you're like a large, dull person?
Yeah, a large adult son, as they're called. But
we were looking for a large, dull person.
Yeah.
You may be it. Let's have you in. Let's talk to you.
Yeah. So, but working in the bar tending arena in a smallish town, a suburb of a larger city, you make some friends, right? And they sometimes send you photographs.
Right.
Can you explain the photograph?
The photo was.
Let's like we gotta go like.
I know when you're on the in scene in the service industry.
Yep, this is the Zapruder film though. Photos like we gotta go through this piece by piece and try and figure out what's happened here.
Oh, I know what happened.
oh, I know what happened.
So let's call him Stewie.
Stewie?
Yeah, that would be his fake name.
Okay.
I've mentioned his real name on this podcast like 50 times, but
We're gonna call him Stewie.
let's just say it was like, if you care to look back or go through the podcast, he's the one I argue with at bars all the time.
Okay.
Or used to.
Yep.
Now I won't
The
really bother.
Stewmeister, you call him.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, so I'll tell you what happened.
Sure.
He got blitzed on Jack and Cokes,
Yep.
started babbling to himself,
Uh-huh.
fell down on the floor, couldn't get it back up.
Yes. So in this
That was what, and then the way he fell down
Yes.
is what we were trying to figure
Yes.
out.
So
Where it's like he's not near a bathroom.
So
this
will be if you go on the website borntheages.net, you'll be able to see this image, which I don't think has any. You can't even like see a face or anything.
No.
There's literally nothing. It's just a man.
If you can
in black-
identify him by his gut, then I feel sorry for
with
you.
a black pants,
That's all I'm gonna say.
red shirt or jacket or coat or a sweater, completely just lying on his back, passed out on a tile floor. Next to
exposed.
got exposed next to a I don't know. That's just
Some type of ATM or
Yeah.
something. A lighted machine.
on the floor, with behind the bar. So like you're in a bar. There's
No, in front of the bar.
Yeah, I'm sorry, in front of the bar. Yeah. So the photo's taken from behind the bar.
Yes.
But the chairs are against the bar, and he's kind of on the floor between the wall and where the chairs are in this kind of like little hallway part of the bar, on the floor, passed out. And now your friend who sent you this image, he was fully passed out. Like this wasn't just he fell down.
Dude, does
he
he
was
look like he's going to get up?
He was sitting there for a while. How long was he there?
I don't know.
I
And
mean-
by now it's been like a month. I can't really ask about it.
Fair
'cause
enough. It's too weird.
They're going to be like, "What? Why are you
Are
asking
you-
about this all of a sudden?"
This is not a.
If I had thought of that a month ago, it would have
Fair
been
enough.
appropriate.
Fair enough. But the interesting part about this situation is there is not a chair falling over. So he did not fall out of a chair.
No.
He is just on the floor. So one can assume he was at the bar at one point,
He was at the bar at one point.
and then he was on the floor. He didn't fall from his chair. So I think my take is he was like, I gotta go to the because he was trashed, like blackout probably.
Oh,
So
I'm sure.
So he was his because when you get blackout, your lizard brain kicks in, where you're just like, okay, I gotta
Well,
survive. Like
Stewie's lizard brain kicks in all the time.
okay, fair enough. But he's just like, all right, I gotta survive. I need to use the bathroom. I'm thinking, and so he gets out of his chair, takes like 2 steps, and his
Forgets
body,
where he is.
and his body's just well. For me, I'm saying his body's like, all right, I can't walk. The legs don't work anymore, so he just falls to the ground and passes out.
I think
on the
he
floor.
got lost.
You think he got lost?
2 steps from his
2
stool.
steps from his stool. Okay.
I think he got disoriented and was like, "Whoa, what's all this?"
Yeah.
Gone, over,
I mean,
done.
if you've ever been inebriated to the point where sometimes you're just kind of like, I'm just gonna sit down now, because like things are kind of spinning a bit, so I'm just gonna sit. Maybe that's what happened. You're just like, I'm gonna.
But he didn't knock his stool over.
I know, but I just wonder if it was just like kind of a situation where he's just like, you know what, I have to sit down, and then he just falls over and passes out. I don't know how this happens.
Stewie's never restrained himself from
'Cause he-
drinking,
he-
though.
in
That's
the
his thing.
Okay, so to further Zapruder film this, he is not in a position in which it looks like he fell forward because he's laying on his
He
back.
clearly did not fall forward.
He to me it looks like he was in a seated position and he just passed out backwards because one of his knees is a little bit up, like he was kind of sitting.
Do you know how close he was to actually, like, being banned from everywhere in town
Okay,
by this?
yeah, I mean,
He was close. Like, everybody knows about this photo because everybody's talked about
oh
it.
yeah, I mean, you get you
Believe
do
me,
this in a bar. You
that's
get
when
photographed.
I joked about it and showed it to somebody, and they're like, "Where'd you get that?"
yeah,
Like,
It's gone
and
around.
Then, everybody knows about it, and then it's like, if he had done one, let me just put it this way.
Yeah.
Let's say if Stewie was in that position
Yeah.
and shot himself,
Yeah.
he would never be allowed in a bar again.
Oh, no. Because everyone would know. You don't let this guy in the bar.
Goodbye. You can't be in here.
Yeah.
He was that close. And
Yeah.
would you say that's outrageous for me to suggest such a thing?
Mm-hmm.
You saw the photo.
Yeah.
I'm sure you went home and did that.
So that turns out to a friend that you and I mutually knew that one time I get a call at like 3 a.m.
Yes, I know who your friend is that you're talking about.
Yep.
And I was
I like how you
warned-
immediately know when I said I got a call at 3 a.m. who exactly I'm talking about, because that just like speaks loads to. Let's call him Jake.
And that I don't. Well, let's call him Billy.
Billy.
But-
Okay.
And it also speaks to the fact that I don't have friends like that now.
No.
Or ever.
Well,
he was the lone one.
And this was the
So
point.
Billy was like unique because he was the only like drinking fuck up that I really knew.
Yeah. Same here, because we all kind of grew up, and then
Same guy,
I met,
so it's
yeah,
not that surprising.
So I met him through work, and he was fun. You know, he was a funny guy, and he had rock band back in the day in like 2007, 2008. So we'd go over to his place and drink and play music, and it was fine because Billy was the type of guy who made fast friends with everyone. So it would always just be kind of like...
But he's superficial, that's why.
Yeah. But I mean, he was a facilitator for, let's hang out. You know what I mean? He would always like get a group of people together because he was just
And
like,
when
hey.
he fucked it up was that like middle to end stage of friendship.
Yeah.
Middle stage. He never got to end stage or
Yeah.
anything. Like no lasting friendships.
Yep.
But it was always like that middle stage
Yeah.
where he started to be creepy.
Yeah.
That fucked with everybody.
Well, he would like get...
They'd be like,
weird.
wait, I don't want to come over here anymore.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, for instance, he would get like weird... Like
desperately weird.
It's just like jealousy about stuff too,
Oh, yeah.
where he would just be really petty.
He's desperate, jealous,
Well, like 'cause,
annoying.
Like, so we did some rock band stuff, and our old place of business, they wanted to have like a competition because they had like an anniversary of the company. They were going to do like, let's just have like a rock band competition where we'll have people dress up and stuff. And so we were going to do something, and I was going to sing, you know, because we were a crew, and he really wanted to, but he is one of those people who is very enthusiastic as a singer, but also when he's drunk, he does not seem to understand that he is not singing on pitch unnecessarily.
He can't even talk on pitch. How is he going to sing on it?
Yeah, so
He's tone deaf as he speaks.
Yeah, so it was just kind of like a, you know, but he really wanted to do that, and then he settled to play guitar, and it was just a thing because he didn't want me to be singing.
Well,
you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, buddy.
He
like,
has that like mean churlish spirit though.
Yeah.
That if you do karaoke and kind of suck,
yeah,
you can still endear yourself to the audience
Yeah,
because they're
yeah.
like, hey, like
Yeah.
we're all gonna like go up
Yeah,
at
yeah.
some point. But he is like mean spirited, so
he would
then,
get very
like,
sullen. He had he had a lot of sullen moments.
I
Drinking.
remember I was talking to
Yeah.
a pretty girl,
Yep.
just talking to her,
Yeah.
and we were out.
Oh yeah. He
And-
was the type of guy where if you were talking to a girl, he would come over and be like, "I'm gonna steal your girl."
You know what he said to me?
What?
I was just saying like, hey, this is like, he's like, what are you doing over there? And I'm like, oh, I was just talking to so and so.
Yeah.
I remember her name was Raven because
Yeah.
it was like stuck out. I don't
Yeah,
know
sure.
somebody named that.
Sure.
And he's like, you know, you're never gonna get with her. What are you thinking? You're not good enough for that.
Really? He said that directly to you?
Yeah,
And you still hung out with this guy?
like 2 more times.
Oh, really? So this is near the end.
Yeah.
Okay, because you guys have one of my favorite stories about purchasing of illegal materials.
Did I tell you about the time he was like before that?
No.
The time where he was like trying to trying to order an escort over to his
Yes,
place?
yes.
Did we talk about that?
No, okay, yeah. No. So first off, just to
He's
say,
like starts cruising Craigslist.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what's happening?
we're hanging out, we're drinking. Like, what's going on? And he's like, I'm just on Craigslist, checking out the ads.
I like the way he rationalized the whole thing too.
Yeah.
'Cause he goes, well, here's the thing. If I'm paying $70, right? I like how it's not 75.
Yeah.
I like how it's not around 25.
Yeah. Why not?
It's like, no, we're cheaper than what is normal. When you charge 70,
It's weird that it's not like 60 or 80 because that's 420s, 620s. Like that's easy.
70's like, we're not that good.
Well, 70's like
we're okay.
70's like we got to make change because you're gonna have four $20 bills. I'm gonna have to give you 10 back, or you're just gonna accept the 80 as a tip or something.
I feel like you should tip somebody if they rub you off. Probably.
Wait, so this was how much for a rub off? 70?
70 suggestive full body massage.
Wow.
Which I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I remember because with him we were looking up like massage
Do you have
parlors
this
in
too?
town. Well, he wanted to go.
You want to go to Rising Sun?
Yes, he wanted to go. The
Creepiest place I've ever been in. Because I had to deliver to it, not because I frequented it.
It is no longer, I think, open. Correct.
It was shut down.
Yes. So it was a full body massage parlor.
When I was still delivering.
Yep.
I can't even tell you how weird it was to deliver over there.
Okay, you got to tell me some stories about this. What's weird?
I was
weird
about to refuse to take orders over there.
Okay. Wait, so somebody would get like, okay, I'm gonna get a full body massage. I'm gonna get jerked off. Let me get some of that pizza, or let me get some of that.
No, you have
Japanese
no idea
food.
how weird it was. You'd walk up a flight of stairs.
Yeah.
Over to the left was a gay bar, which is okay.
Yep, sure.
And then to the right was
Massage
a
parlor?
music bar.
Oh, okay.
I'm just talking downstairs.
Okay.
Music bar, and then it's literally a complex of 5 bars and a fucking jerk off parlor.
Yeah.
Second floor.
I have no clue where this was in town.
It was to the right of what is my
this
alias
downtown?
will be. Yeah, oh yeah. It would be like I would call it like an Irish themed gay bar.
Okay.
It would be to the right of it.
Okay. Wait a minute. Is there an Irish themed gay bar in town?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Is that place is like that?
I guess I could say what it is. Shamrock.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
So the owner really is into. I respect him because he has this whole. I respect any owner of a local business.
Yeah.
Like that who. Goes the extra mile to have good food.
Yeah.
And he's known for having good brunches.
Nice.
And it's you wouldn't expect a gay bar to be known for good brunches.
Well, I feel like out of any bar to have good brunch, a gay bar would be who
Well,
I'd
I guess
expect.
that's true.
Fair enough. But it's nice that it's there,
Yeah.
So anyway, so
But
it's
then-
near there, huh?
I had to
Or was.
deliver there.
Yeah.
I had a regular there.
Regular at the Jerk Off Blake Club.
Well, he lived in. This is how pathetic he was. He lived in the apartment that was shared with I don't even know. It wasn't a full apartment.
Okay.
And it wasn't a real door
Yeah.
to his place.
Really?
It was half a window and a
What?
door. And I'm wow, I've never seen an apartment that was half what are you private detective from the 50s?
Yeah.
And he had specific instructions the first time I went there that I needed to walk in and tap on the window, but not too much. And I'm okay. So I do that, and I'm doing this tapping. I'm just
Yeah.
guy's high as fuck. He's not going to notice.
Yeah, of
So I'm
course.
well, I'm going to have to start knocking now.
Yeah.
I have to get the fuck out of here. To the left of me, doors open. There's the massage table. There's this weird this chick dressed like a gypsy with all these rags and stuff.
Okay.
And she starts swerving toward me out into the hallway.
Oh no, she's you're a customer.
Oh, what do you need, sir?
Oh,
Some
boy.
type of, and I'm no,
I'm delivering food.
I'm not into this. Please let it end.
Yeah.
And I'm I start rapping on the door with my knuckles.
Yeah.
And he comes out way late.
Yeah.
She's oh, yeah, and
Yeah.
goes off back into her
Her
little,
lair.
sex lair.
Yep.
And then her little jerk off lair.
Yep.
And then he comes out he's embarrassed.
Yeah.
Which, why shouldn't he be? He should
course.
be. Overcompensates, tips me like $5 on a $10 order.
Nice.
It's just like, all right.
Whatever.
I mean, yeah,
Like-
you did put me through something, so.
Yeah.
And then continues to order like every week, and every time that order came up, I was just like, God damn it.
Because you knew it was going to be some weird escapade.
I saw people get massaged over there.
Really?
Yeah. They left the door open. You'd be like walking over there, and you're in this weird like gallery room or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just want to go to the place where I dropped the food off.
Yeah.
And then there's like, and I even had a guy walk by me that was awkward because he was just like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
please let it end.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. There's almost no limit to what creeps people can be.
Yeah.
I've decided this.
So regardless of all of this, going back to where we were, our friend Billy, or at least when I knew him, he wasn't looking for escorts, but he was kind of looking up like massage parlors in town because it was kind of like.
Did I tell you his line though when I went on the ramble
Sure.
about? I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, that's fine.
His line was,
Well, I just want to say he was looking for a place like that because he wanted to go
Fuck yeah.
and see where it was and kind of like check it out and like. You know,
sure
it's
you
like,
fucking-
you just want to get fucking
I'm
jerked off.
sure you went there 25 times.
I'm sure. But anyway, yep, go.
Would you be surprised?
That's all. Yep.
Anyway, how could he not know about it? Anyway,
Yep.
he said, because he knew like that, like the way I was reacting, I was kind of like, I don't know if I
Yeah.
like want to hang out here. If you're gonna like bring some like trashy bitch over here, like I think I'm gonna leave.
Just, you're going to bring an escort over here? Like, I don't.
Like in company.
This
Who
is
does
actually,
that?
I was about to say, this is one thing that he was really good at was hanging out. He'd be like, all right, come on over, let's hang out. All right, let's let's drink and whatever. And he's gonna go on the porch and smoke and shit, and like he bitch about his fucking neighbor who always yells at him for being loud. And you're always like, man, that sucks. But you're like, yeah, this guy would be fucking terrible to live next to. But and then like you'd be like, all right, and you get really drunk because you'd just be like sitting there having beers, like hanging out and getting a little buzzed, and he would have like a lot of beer.
Drinking straight liquor.
He would just drink straight, like he would make himself a drink with straight
half
liquor.
fucking. He would pour a jar of a 24-ounce jar,
Yeah,
half liquor.
yeah.
Fucking drink it.
Yeah.
He's blitzed.
Yeah. And then he would get trashed.
Unable to talk by
Yeah.
the time you got to the bar.
Yeah, or we wouldn't even go to a bar. And he would just be like, all right, I'm going to put on some fucking music videos of like Regina Spektor
Terrible
or something.
fucking music.
And, like, and then the best part though is there was one time I was hanging out with him. He was just like, hey, you can go. You can leave. I was like, okay.
He said that to
What
you?
an elegant way to leave. We were like kind of hanging out.
What a
I wasn't
fucking shithead.
I wasn't really drunk, but it was just like, well, I mean, he couldn't even come up with an excuse like, oh man, it's so late. Like I got to get up tomorrow morning. Like he didn't have like the wherewithal to like come up with an excuse because that is the easiest excuse. If you want someone to leave because it's late, you're just kind of like, man, I gotta leave like at 8:00 tomorrow morning. Like I just need to get some sleep. If you want to crash here on the couch, and just
So that's why you stopped hanging out with him.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was a couple
I
experiences.
would too.
It's a couple experiences like that. and you're
Somebody
just
said
kinda
that to me, I'd be done with them.
You're just kind of like, I mean,
You can go. That's some bullshit right there.
oh, he's like, all right, well, anyway, you can leave.
Oh, thanks, Master.
Yeah.
Thanks, fucking Caesar. You
It's just
fucking
like-
cunt.
Okay, like, bye.
God.
Anyway, I mean,
I just like I can't stand the like how
no, when I was done with him was after that. And this is where we go back to where we were at 3.
God, I would have fucking ripped his asshole in half.
Uh,
I'm sorry, that was a poor turn of phrase, but
Yeah, I don't know, Lance.
I would have just been like, "Are you telling like, are you?"
Well, you've gotten into a fight with this person before, I'm assuming.
I didn't get in a fight. He punched me,
Yeah.
and I protected myself.
Okay, fair enough.
I didn't punch him back.
No, he was the kind of guy.
If
who'd
I
get-
did, I could have done whatever I wanted.
he was a guy. Well, he was.
He's very lucky that I'm not an aggressive person,
Yeah.
that I'm pacifist, because all his blows were weak as fuck. They were
because
like
he was trashed. Like you don't have any.
no,
fucking...
they were weak because he's weak.
Okay.
Believe me, my brother used to fucking punch me in the face all the time. Like I know what a punch is, and fucking or sorry. Leave it there. Billy
Mitchell
punched like a bitch.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like angry because, well, like I said, I won't like try to fight somebody.
Yeah.
But they were also weak blows.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah, and we all know Lantz does not like a weak blow. But no, that's fine. But no, so like at
I don't like him. I like him even less now.
oh, well, anyway, so we at 3 a.m. going back to it, I got a call from his phone, and it was just garbled nonsense. Like someone like couldn't even talk. Like, hey, so you want to like?
Can I do my Gordon Ramsay?
Sure.
You've drunk yourself, stupid mate.
Yeah, no, like he literally, and I always said the best way to describe it is he's like the worst drinker I've ever met that drinks all the time. Like it would be like if you were a professional athlete who's constantly like working out and all this shit and somehow always fucks it up during a game. It's like, how can you be this bad at something you do all the time?
Did you see him pee himself?
Oh, no, I've heard of this happening before.
I saw it.
He used to tell stories about how he would
That had to
pee
be the
on
saddest
hamsters
thing
and
ever. I saw a grown man sitting in a bean chair, like a, and you fucking started peeing.
Oh my god!
And I could hear it while we were watching.
Just like,
we were watching like a movie.
all hanging out.
Like he got like a quiet
Wait,
part, and hearing this
question,
sound
was this
of piss.
Was this with another friend like group like that I know? Like was this?
No, it was him, his diabetic roommate who's crazy, and me.
Okay. So one interesting thing about this this character Billy is that I did the friend handoff with him because I introduced him to some of my other friends from like high school, like Lantz here and some other people, because we would have parties with people that worked at my old place of business where we met, and like I'd be like, hey, like I got a bunch of single friends, there's gonna be girls here, let's all hang out, let's mix the friend groups together. And let's drink and stuff, and then I was like, I'm gonna stop hanging out with this guy, and then you guys kept hanging out with this guy because obviously he brought.
We were younger though.
Yeah.
So then, if you wanted to get drunk on Tuesday night,
he was the guy.
you fucking called Billy,
Yeah.
and you were like, "Hey, want to get drunk?" And he's like, "Yeah, I don't have anything to do."
Yeah, of course. I don't have work tomorrow, Wednesday morning. Like,
I don't know what his
he
work
did.
was.
He did not.
Didn't matter what day of the week it was.
He was fired from that job.
He was fine.
Of course, I was as well. But because that job was very fire happy with people.
Do you remember when he told us about how he was going to be a stand-up comic?
Yes.
And then
This was his greatest aspiration.
I've seen this happen again recently, but he was the first one I saw this with.
He was very into stand-up comedians.
Told us
and like Louis C.K.
And by
Huge
the way,
fan.
the worst stand-up comedian I ever saw in my life, Jim Jeffries, he used to talk about him.
Yeah, he really liked Jim Jeffries.
Has to be the worst I've
Jim
ever
Jeffries
seen.
is a great guy, and I don't hate his comedy, but he's not.
I
my
do
favorite.
hate his comedy.
Well, Lance is
I think
going
it
hot and mean
stinks.
But anyway,
He doesn't know how to do punchlines. He just sits there and talks
all right,
about balls and
Let's
taints.
not rip on Jim Jeffries here. Let's get back to
Not
Billy.
that good though.
Let's get back to Billy.
Anyway,
So Billy desperately wanted to be a stand-up comedian.
yes.
And we went to. I had a friend who used to run the open mic in the Madison Comedy Club.
He was awesome.
And that guy is awesome. And he now
He
actually
probably has gone on to things.
he is in LA doing comedy right now.
There you
like
go.
he does clubs out there and stuff.
did a
Like,
very good
he's
job.
a very funny fucking guy. Like this guy is awesome. He's a lawyer as well, so like he can work as well. He can make money if he needs to. But this guy's awesome, and he was like, "You got to come to the open mic, man." He was super supportive of me. He was like, "You should come to the open mic. Oh, your friend wants to do comedy. You should come to the open mic. Everyone should come to the open mic. It's easy. You get a slot. You get 5 minutes. Like some people are awful, some people are good. You'll just fit in the middle somewhere. You know what I mean? You won't be the worst. And you'll get a little confidence and kind of see if it's something you want to do." Because he always wants people to come down because you had to pay to do it. But it was $5 or some nonsense, to do the open mic because you had to be an audience member. And so it was fun. It was just like Wednesday nights. And he wanted, my friend Billy wanted to do this. And so he'd come down, we'd watch open mic and laugh. He was like, okay, maybe I could do this. I don't remember him ever doing it.
No.
No.
Nobody would have laughed
I
at
did
anything
it
he would have to say.
Twice. for some reason.
I watched one of them.
Yeah, I mean, it was I'd never done it before, and I remember being like, "This is really bad. This is tense and stressful because I mean, like, stand up is tough. I remember doing it. I remember getting a couple laughs on a couple things, and I was like, I got people to laugh. So,
believe me,
I accomplished a thing.
I wanted to just like add material to your stuff because I was afraid myself. I was like, God. I'm not gonna fucking do that.
I didn't want to do it again because it's tough. I kind of want to do it again now that I'm thinking about it. But the thing is here's the thing: is that when you're a guy who, like Billy, watched a lot of stand up, was really interested in stand up, he was a legitimately funny guy. Like, he was very personable. I could see him being able to come up with funny stuff for sure. But
his mean-spiritedness ruined it, though.
Okay, you're focusing on some things here. He's not overall a terrible person, but
there's that underlying nature though that makes him not funny because of it.
So one thing that he lacked was the ability to make fun of himself. And
he was a laughing stock.
He was insecure. But one thing that is like a thing that you don't think about when you stand up.
Insecure. I remember when he told me how large his penis was. Is that insecure?
Well, I think we talked about this on an
He's
episode.
He's like, hey, I just want you to know, like, I've been told it's pretty fucking good size. I'm like, oh, that's great, Billy.
If I
believe you.
If I ever told anyone about my dick to, like, in public with people, I would talk about how tiny it is.
Right, same here.
You just be like, you know what I mean? That's what a comedian does. Is you make fun of yourself. You know, you make the audience. Endear the audience to you by being a vulnerable person.
I mean, I agree with that, but
it's just so stupid. Like, that you would do that. Anyway, regardless,
I would do it because it's true, though.
See, exactly. That's how you get laughs. You know what I mean? Like, it's just funny. Like, but anyway, so this guy didn't really. The problem is that he didn't want to work for it, and doing stand up is very difficult because you have to get in front of a mirror, get jokes. Get pauses figured out.
React to the audience.
Get stuff. Like, you have to have a fucking set figured out. You have to have anecdotes and ways to connect them. It's not just like,
you have to be able to pivot. If a joke doesn't work and you want to adapt, you have to adapt to the audience. That's how you do stand-up. So you sit there, you have material, and then something works. It's killing. You can do your riskier material. Something's not working, you're struggling, you're going to try to segue into your best material. And any good stand-up's going to do that. And
you just have to
You can't go out there like George Carlin and dissertate a bunch of bullshit in front of people.
You can if you're George Carlin. That's the thing. You have to be
no one
that
else
much
can.
of a professional to have that fucking shit down.
He memorized everything, though. That's why his interview sucked.
This is because
he was not funny off the cuff.
No, because he
sat there and wrote with a notebook.
Exactly. He would write excellent comedy, but you know, like, and some people aren't.
But
like
it
that.
took him time to do it.
Yeah. So when you do it, you kind of the thing that kind of ruins stand up a little bit is that when you realize every stand up you see is a very scripted set that they're doing. They have all these jokes figured out. They have all these anecdotes figured out for the audience reactions. It's because they've been honing this on tours and going to open mic nights and trying out material.
It doesn't ruin bands that set up
it doesn't. But the thing is with stand-up is it feels like someone's just going off the cuff and kind of like doing that. You know, it's the way.
Right. I don't know what the name is for that, but that's definitely the skill of stand-up. For you to act like it's off the cuff.
Yeah, to
make
it feel original. Exactly. Even though
you have to do that.
You're like, you tell this anecdote that's hilarious and feels really real, and you make yourself feel kind of vulnerable or look vulnerable. And it's like, yeah, except for I've told this joke 500 times before in like 20 different cities.
It's like a realm of acting.
Yeah, but it's great when you're good at it, and it's a thing that you have to work hard at and be good at.
That's why I never tell jokes 2 times because the second, well, I do 2 or 3 times to separate people.
Yeah,
but then once I try to recreate it, I tried that before. Yeah. Doesn't work.
And it really
you
sucked
learn
too.
that about storytelling and joke telling. You can't, the craft of stand-up is based in recreating that moment of when you were funny,
Yeah.
being funny again,
Yeah.
night after night,
Yeah.
doing about the same material,
You
which
know,
is it's a very difficult task.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect anybody who can actually pull it off. Like,
I
for
like
me,
it.
I can't. That's why, I would have no problem chipping in jokes, but
Yeah.
I can't do that.
I like the crew that is in Madison. It's a really good scene. Like, there's a lot of really cool regulars and stuff. It's kind
You're
of one
a
of those
performer, though.
and it's one of
I've
the-
never performed.
And it's one of those things that where you get. I do mostly improv, but it's one of those things that you get like kind of a feel for it, and you see people go up and be really funny, and you come back next week and they'll have a couple jokes that don't land, and they kind of bomb, and you're like, okay, so even people that are really good at this can fuck up, and it kind of gives you that feeling of like, okay, so not every open mic is perfect, you know what I mean? It kind of gives you that feeling, and I think for our friend Billy, it wasn't what he was hoping it would be.
Well,
You know
he
what I
was
mean?
no good at it, though.
But he never even tried. Maybe he could have been good at it. You
No,
know what
I
mean?
heard his material.
Well, here's the thing.
He used to test it out on us.
Uh-huh.
Remember?
Yeah.
When he would be like, hey, he would mention stand-up,
Uh-huh.
and then he'd be like, hey, I had a thought.
Yeah.
Like 2 seconds later.
Yeah.
It's like, I wonder where the thought came from.
Yeah.
And then we sit there and listen to him
Yeah.
give lame stand-up to us,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we're gonna humor him and be like,
Well, I thought he was pretty funny sometimes, but
He was funny off the cuff.
he was the kind of
He
guy.
wasn't funny when he was trying to write things.
And it sucked too because I wish he would have tried it. I mean, he just was such a. I wonder if it was just a nerves thing. You know, he just was really afraid to do it. You know what I mean? And
I think he's funny. It's just like
understand. I only did it because I knew the guy who ran open mic because we were both on an internet website forums together, and he was like, you gotta come, and he I went out with him and talked to him and got to know him, and it was just like, you should do it, and he kind of forced me to do it. He's like, just get up there and do it, come with a couple jokes that you write, and if you don't use up your whole time, whatever, just say goodnight and walk off the stage, just do it, man, just you gotta try it, see if it's something you can do.
Yeah.
Because and then I did it, and
you were solid. I mean, I watched you. It was solid.
Yeah, but it was, you know what I mean? It was like something, it was like, okay, I understand what this is, and it is definitely something that I would need to work at, and I just don't have the time. You know what I mean? It was like I liked.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean, you took that. Yeah, it makes sense.
So it was kind of fun. There's the Madison local comedy scene is really cool. There's a lot of really cool people here. So
did I show you my picture of me and Bobby Kelly?
No.
He was a pretty funny comedian, but
The Madison Comedy
did I
Club
tell
gets
you that
great
experience?
acts, by
Did
the
I
way.
mention that on here?
Sorry, yep, go. No.
They put me in the front row in the front seat.
Oh, yeah?
This was a year ago.
Okay.
And I'm like, wow, I've never sat in the front seat at a comedy club before. By the way, if you do that, if they put you in the front seat,
Yeah.
there's some things you should know about this.
Sure.
You are going to be part of the set.
Yep. No, I'm bringing you up.
If he brought me up fucking 10 times. I thought it was hilarious.
But it's fun, though. If it's fun.
He was hilarious.
Yeah.
And I loved being the center of attention. I mean, I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
The whole room is full.
Yeah.
And he keeps referencing me every 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's fun,
It was
though.
fun as fuck.
Yeah.
He was telling all these jokes about how I didn't understand things because I wasn't a real man and stuff. And it was just funny. I was just
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't like that. That's
I know
the
what you
tone
mean.
of jokes.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
He didn't say anything
do a little,
mean.
No, he was just ribbing on you, but in a
Yeah.
fun way. That
If
really-
if somebody rubbed me the wrong way, I would have walked out
Yeah,
right in the
yeah,
middle
yeah.
and fucked with them. I
Yeah.
would have just I would have been like, yeah, I'm done. Fuck this.
Yeah,
and
fuck you.
it
I'm
would have
outta
fucked
here.
with their set.
Yeah.
Bobby Kelly is a pro.
Yeah.
And he said the whole thing where he's never mean spirited. I like him. And he's just I don't know, it was a blast. It was just a blast.
Yeah, the Madison Comedy
He did
Club
have
gets
one
great
move
acts.
that made me laugh my ass off, and
Sure.
it's his best joke.
Sure.
And it wasn't technically a joke.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's kind of neat. I don't know if I should. But he got really excited
Yeah,
getting on stage, and since I was in the front seat,
yeah.
I saw all of this.
Yeah.
And probably our table and 2 other tables, but
Sure.
not the whole room.
Sure.
He went to drink his bottled water, and he spilled it all over his face.
Oh, no.
Right as he started walking up.
Oh, yeah.
And then he tried to do this wipe move where he wiped water all over his face.
Yeah.
But it was like, dude, you just like failed at actually drinking water.
Yeah.
But I know you get like hyped and you were like, I don't know.
It's really fun. Like stand-up comedy is an art that I really appreciate because it's difficult. And having done it, like, albeit less than even a handful of times, you're just kind of like, I get it. I understand why it's so impressive when someone's good at it, you know. And that's the thing that, like, Billy he just was too much for him, you know what I mean? It was a real, like, life investment.
Do you like Billy?
I do, and I'll tell you why. Because I kind of just cut it off, you know. So I never had those.
You
bad
like him because you never talked to him again.
Well, no, I always had great experiences with him, but I've heard horror stories. So
You didn't have great experiences with him.
I did. I liked him. It was
No,
fun.
You didn't.
I'm trying to be nice here. He was never awful.
You
to
can
me.
be nice. I'm just asking you to be honest.
He was never bad to me. He was a little petty at some things. He was a little jealous. He was
mean to you.
But not, I don't know. He never was openly bad. I'm just saying. Anyway, regardless, I want to get back to the night. 3 a.m., get a call, garbled talking, blah, 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 blah. Don't hear anything. I hang it up because I know it's him and he's drunk. And I'm like, whatever. I'm not going to pick this up. It's 3 in the fucking morning. I'm like, you know, you can't call someone that late. And then, like, 3:05, I get another call. And it's this guy. Hey, man, can you come pick up your friend at the gas station? He's trying to call your number.
I'm trying to like deliver newspapers.
Yeah, and I was just like, so this he was literally passed out in a gas station on the floor.
That's a good spot, though. I mean, I got to be honest.
And then, so like this man that we're making fun of in this picture, our friend was passed out in a public place, and I was on the speed dial number 1. I did not go, and he went to the drunk tank.
Yeah,
and I picked him up from the drunk tank the next day.
That's where it belongs. I like to think that his like,
and then we went out.
That square pattern tiled floor.
Yeah.
That like while he's passed out, the pee that missed the urinal is like gonna slowly get to him.
You're very vindictive here against Billy, because I don't wish any ill will to Billy. You know, he's moved on in his life. He's moved out of state. You know, he's
literally moved. He hasn't moved on.
I don't know. I don't know. You're way more down on Billy than I am.
I do remember. I remember hearing something about a wedding where he became drunk and naked and started like parading around. How long ago was this when he became a higher evolved being? I'm sorry, John. Was this 2 years ago?
I don't even remember.
Yeah. So I mean, come on. Let's be honest. He's not like some. Like, totally... I mean, he's the same mess he always was.
Yeah.
You have to admit.
Uh-huh. Well, I think he's...
Wasn't there a point where somebody called a room to let them know that he had wetted himself, like, in a lounge and needed to be collected? And then once
there was no wedding. This was... He just passed out in a hotel lobby.
And then he went up there...
Yep.
Stripped his clothes off.
Oh, completely. And this was my brother who was rooming with him.
I know. Believe me,
I like how he went. The best part is that this is a person I knew from work, and we became friends. And then I passed him off to this friend group, and it was my brother's friend and roommate from college's wedding that he went to. I was not invited to
By
this.
the way,
I passed this friend.
Not to rub salt in the wound, but I know you were like, okay. Wasn't there a moment in the wedding pre-dinner where he started telling abortion jokes to older like parents of the bride, and they got upset? I remember hearing about this also.
Yeah, I don't remember.
More of a stand-up material, perhaps.
Sure. I mean, it looks like he's done some improv. Looks like he went to Japan last fall. I think I remember hearing about that. Well, anyway, it looks like he's in an improv school somewhere in Delaware doing stuff. So, good for him, you know. Yes, and.
Delaware?
I don't fucking know. Or maybe it was the name of the school was the Delaware, or I don't know. I don't want to post identifying information. I'm going to have to go back and bleep a name here.
You don't have to.
Oh, I've got to bleep it because I don't want to be mean to somebody.
It's funny, though.
Well, it's going to be bleeped, and it'll be funny when it's bleeped because we'll know that you just... Anyway.
I only slept one time, though.
That's good. I know. It's pretty fucking good, though.
But
I like that we rant about this guy, and he's not even here to defend himself.
He's a dickhead.
Jesus, Lance.
He just is.
He did punch you in the face, though, so at one point.
Have we even said one thing that was good about him?
I said that he was a very personable person
He
who brought
seems
people
likable,
together.
but isn't likable.
I think that the ideal
He's not a likable person.
job and time for him would have been like back in Roman times as like a man who led like the Bacchanalian. Like he would be like, let's bring everyone forth to drink and party. He's like, you know what I mean? Like his ideal job would be like, you know, like the Duff Man or like the fucking Spuds McKenzie. You know what I mean? Like an alcohol spokesperson, like professional party man would be his job.
I think his job, if I can go back into history, like the eons.
Which is funny because this guy has like a master's in economics. Like this is not a dumb person. He's very smart.
Oh yeah,
but he's bad at drinking.
And he's a scumbag. Like, okay, if I could give him a job through the eons.
Okay, yep. Let me hear it.
I think of like 2001 when that one ape takes a bone and brains the other one.
Yeah.
He could be one of those apes.
Okay, one of the shit-throwing apes that hit each other with bones. All right, good one, Lance. There you go. But anyway, we've gone on quite the tangent here because of this photo, but I'm enjoying it. Let me just take a break here to pause and save the recording, and we'll be right back.
With new subjects.
Yes. All right, and we're back for a little siesta break. I think we've done about 45 minutes here to 50 minutes. So let's wrap up the episode with a little loose chat. Lance wanted to do a free form. You want jazz style this baby?
Something came to mind.
Okay, perfect. Because I want you. This is your space to Lance out. We're done with Billy.
Yeah, we're done with that.
Billy's off wherever he is having adventures.
I wanted to ask you.
Sure.
And I feel like since this is like episode 3 million and
300 and we've done 300 of Born in the 80s proper, and then a bunch of random ass like extra episodes like the Christmas movie ones and the Fast and the Furious movie ones and Saturday Night Bites. So there's probably like 328 episodes, 325
right
at this point.
The bites count.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then specials.
Well, they're all in the same feed, but they just have different names.
It started out you and Adam briefly.
Yes, just the two of us for a little bit.
For like 2 episodes.
5 or 6 episodes. Then we got guests on.
Well, then
for a couple episodes, and then we brought you in.
Right. I didn't even remember the guest period before me.
It was like 2 or 3 episodes.
So I didn't even know what you were doing by the time I didn't even know.
Yep.
And then it was you, me, and Adam for like a long time.
Yes, a very long time.
The Prime.
Yep.
And
Born in the 80s Prime.
Except that like, not really, but like kind of. Like it was fun.
It
but
was
like,
the golden age, I think.
It'd be hard for me to listen to again, some of it.
Oh, you should go back though. It's glorious.
I should.
I haven't listened back.
It'd be like listening to a different person now.
It's actually kind of insane when you think about it, because my voice does sound different. Because I mean, it was at this point.
Your voice sounds different.
Yeah, because it was at this point. I mean, that was 2011.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this was a long time ago, and this was back when I had all of my recording equipment at your guys' apartment that you shared, and I would come over from my apartment, which was just in the same complex down the street. And record on like Saturday nights, and we would often do it like late Saturday nights because I could stay up late and then Adam would get home from his work because he worked second shift at like 8, and then you would get home at like 10 or whatever when you were done, like delivering, and then we would just chill, record an episode, maybe drink, and then like watch wrestling until like 7 a.m. Multiple times. You remember this?
No.
You do, or you would play Siphon Filter poorly.
Well,
for like 8 hours.
You guys hung out till 7 a.m.
You would. No, you were there. Oh
Really?
yeah, you were the catalyst to this. I remember going over there. I could never do this again. But like I remember when I was a young man, when I was in 2011, so that I was like in my mid 20s. I could go over, hang out, like order fucking pizza with Adam, like some gross ass like huge pizza, eat half of a fucking extra large pizza.
Like, oh yeah, get the bread bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever that is.
Yeah. And just fucking pig out on food, drink, and then fucking like, and then you would come over, we would record, and then we would go and you would watch either like old episodes of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that you had downloaded, or you would download like WrestleMania like 1, 2, and 3, and we watched this super old wrestling, like just.
I remember downloading all of them.
Yeah,
and we watched like the first 20.
Yeah, and we would just
eventually we got
them.
sick of it and stopped watching.
Yeah,
them.
because it stopped being nostalgic.
It started to be like the same formula.
Yeah.
Whereas like I get it, it's WrestleMania, same shit.
Mm-hmm. And it's always fun to like go back and remember those times of like literally there was one time when I left, it was light out, got over to your place, hung out, and then when I was walking home, the sun was rising. Like it was 6 a.m. And I didn't sleep. And I would just sleep till like on Sunday till like 2 p.m, get up, hang out because, or was on, my fiance, not at that time, would be doing other stuff during the day, and like it was just I couldn't do that now. Like I fall asleep.
No,
I fall asleep at like 11 now.
Dude, I wouldn't do
this
that.
is late for me, and it's like 1 o'clock. So anyway, it's just kind of an interesting thing of the dynamic. So what did you want to bring up the old episodes for?
Well,
back in Prime,
and believe me, don't take this the wrong way.
Okay,
or anything.
Great. So this is a good startup right here. Don't take this.
Do I have your attention?
Okay. All right, so you're gonna. Okay, yep, go.
But like, and this is like possibly like a personal type of question.
Okay.
And like, I don't know if this is right form for it. But
wow.
Like, since I've been like,
what is happening? You've built this up now.
Since I know. Well, I'm presenting things.
Okay.
Since I'm drinking and
Would
stuff.
you get the fuck down, Cat?
I should be allowed to. It's not going to be okay.
Yep.
But it is a simple question. But it goes back to the beginning of the show.
Okay.
And it comes
Born
back
in
to
the 80s
now.
origins.
And it's like a curiosity of mine.
Sure.
And like, I don't know if it's appropriate.
Oh my God. Would you just go?
All right. Do you think like Adam likes me?
Of course. Adam loves everyone. I have not met this is why he has always been one of my dearest friends. He is the nicest person I have ever met. Like, he has never done ill will. I mean, obviously, he can be, as you've said, lazy. We had talked about the fact that I think Adam may be narcoleptic. Or have sleep apnea, because I've heard him sleep and snore. Because sometimes he'll just fall asleep when he's talking to people. Or when you're hanging out, you'll be watching something and you'll hear him snoring and be like, Adam, wake up. And he'll be like, I wasn't asleep. I'm like, yes, you were fucking asleep. You just fell asleep while we were hanging out. So he can be maybe not perfect, but I think that he never does anything with any ill will, which is crazy to me. You think of a person that nice. So he's always been a great friend of mine. So no, for sure. No way.
I mean, like, and he's never been mean or anything to me.
Sure.
It's just like, I don't know.
I'm just going to say this right now, Lance. I know you. You are of the Seinfeld mind of you read into people's signals quite a bit. You know what I mean? You're a person who likes to try and divine what people are thinking. Adam is a very weird person in the fact that you have to do 100% of the effort in talking to him because he's just very content to be with whoever he's with at the moment. You know what I mean? So, like, I know, for instance, I'll get mad at him sometimes because I'm just like, why doesn't he ever talk to me? Or why doesn't he ever call me? It's because he just doesn't. You have to initiate 100% of the time. Like, because we'll have episodes where I'll be like, man,
I was like, that's what I was wondering about, because I kind of, like, thought that, and believe me, I'm careful about, like, what I'm saying.
Sure.
But,
sure.
Like,
Oops.
I don't know. I thought we'd have, like, a little bit more communication after, like, I came out and everything.
Nah, man. Dude.
Didn't change any, you know. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like me.
No. I invited him to my wedding, right? All right. He is going to be one of my groomsmen. One of my 3 groomsmen. You know, we were having a small wedding party. One of my 3 groomsmen.
Matt, Eric,
Matt
Adam.
Hag, my brother, who's the best man, and Adam, who I've known, is one of my longest friends, basically. Even longer than you. I knew him before I knew you.
Yes.
And so he has not mentioned one thing about the wedding, and it's coming up. He's not talked to me about this. I just found out today, Lauren said that they confirmed that he got fitted for his tux. He didn't talk to me about this at all. Like, that he went into it. He just doesn't communicate. You know what I mean? Like, I would not construe that. He's probably not even listening to this right now. Because Adam is a man who does whatever everyone else around him wants to do. He's like the fucking cipher person. Like, he is always there. And so if you're not, like, being the person to be like, hey, Adam, let's do this. Let's talk. Let's go meet. He's not going to do it. You know what I mean? He's not, like, every time I've gone to visit Adam, like, down in Bloomington, it's always been like, hey, let's plan a meetup together. When can I come down and visit? You know what I mean? Like, he's not going to suggest it because he just is very happy to live his life the way it is, you know? Like, I don't know. That's my thoughts. You know,
I mean, that makes sense. It's
I'm just
like,
I'm
kind
just
of
telling
like,
you.
I forgot that's like the normal.
It is.
Way
Oh, he's
of
like one of my
things.
closest friends, and that's the way he is. You know what I mean? Like, and it just is like. But the best part about him is that I know that if I haven't seen him in like over a year at this point, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just gonna come. I'm gonna meet him and just be like right where we left off. You know what I mean? Like, he's just one of those kind of guys. And I've been praising Adam here a whole bunch, but like, he's always been a super close friend.
Believe me, I wasn't going to trash him like Billy. I'm just saying, like, that's why I asked, because I didn't know. So it's like,
dude, having known him
I
for
talked to him a little bit,
decades,
and then like 3 months passed, and then like have one message or anything.
Every
and
text,
I was like, well, maybe I'm talking too much, and maybe I'm bothering him.
No, every text conversation I have with Adam, I always feel like I always have to do like 80% of the lifting, because it's cool if you're there with him hanging out, but he's just, I don't know, he's just the kind of guy who's in the moment, you know what I mean? He doesn't plan ahead, he doesn't, so it's just kind of like, I don't know, I would not construe that in any negative way, because I think he's just a guy who, it's just weird, man. Like, you know what I mean? Now you have me doubting my friendship with him. I haven't talked to him in so long. But it's my fault, too, because I honestly haven't reached out. You know what I mean? So, because he's moved really far away, you know? Like, we don't really...
So, like, DeKalb still?
In Bloomington.
What's Bloomington?
Bloomington, Normal, Illinois.
It's like northern?
No, it's central. It's near Peoria. It's about 4.5 hours from here. Drive.
Like...
If you went straight south for 4.5 hours, you'd be there. It's like right in the middle of Illinois.
How big is that? Like Monroe?
It's a college town. University of Illinois is there.
Oh, so like 60,000?
Yeah, maybe not that much. Like 20, 30,000. Platteville, I'd say.
Right.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. He's just kind of off, which is really interesting when you think about it, because, and you brought this up earlier tonight, but you both were gay.
Yeah.
As roommates.
Yeah.
And you didn't know it.
Yeah, we
Because
didn't...
You never talked about it. He was gay, right? When we 3 were living together, and he would go out on dates with men.
Yeah.
And this was something actually when he brought it up to me, when he came out to me, he was like, I've been doing this for a long time. And I said this a little bit. I was like, I almost feel hurt that you wouldn't told me earlier, because, and you know, it's not his fault that he didn't, you know what I mean? Because it's a personal thing, you know what I mean? You don't know how I'm going to react. But I was like, you could have trusted me as your best friend. Like, It's fine. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, it doesn't bother me. And so, or I don't care either way. I want you to live your life the way you want to live it. But he was like, yeah. And so, and so he's just kind of that kind of guy who just doesn't like bring stuff up. You know what I mean? Like, we used to ask a question on the QuizBot when we'd have guests. Are you a driver or are you a passenger? Adam is a passenger. You know what I mean? He is never going to drive it. You know what I mean? And I know you are a driver because you're always like, hey, can we hang out? Like, hey, this, and I'll do that too. Like, hey, we got to have you over to record an episode, because like when schedules work, I want to meet up. You know what I mean? And like, Adam's just not that kind of guy. You gotta be the driver. He'll be your co-pilot, but he won't be the pilot. So anyway, so that's my thoughts.
Well, and we were talking about that and how, because
yeah. Well, I said you guys lived in two. I guess said you guys both lived in two giant closets next to each other. Yeah, which is kind of.
Well, and like the thing was that like we, and I don't feel like this is out of turn or speaking out of turn.
Sure.
But kind of like based on our upbringings.
Yeah.
We were both in different closets. Like, I was like in a more like fearful, violent one.
Yeah.
And he was in a more like oppressive, religious one.
Correct. Yeah.
And so we came from different places.
Because Adam and I used to hang out at like the Baptist church groups and people. You know what I mean? That was his friend group and mine too. And the funny part about Adam was that he was super religious and I was super atheist. And then it kind of flipped. Not that I became like more religious, but he became super atheist.
Oh, I know. Believe me, I know.
And it's just funny.
I remember when he got in his Richard Dawkins videos.
Oh yeah, like he used
and I'm like, what are you watching?
He used to argue with me about how pro-life he was, and all this stuff. And we would have like these.
Oh, he was right wing. He used to be right wing.
We would have deep.
I remember he talks about how great like Reagan was.
Yeah. We'd have these deep
philosophical. Not that I don't mean to embarrass him.
No, yeah, but I mean,
it's a phase. Like whatever.
He was in high school.
People can have
you
phases.
Know what I mean? Like
people change.
Yes.
Like he was fucking 19 when he. I don't mean to like embarrass him.
No, I'm pretty sure he changed in college. But like when he was in high school, when you hang out with that crew. And
he made sense though, like things he said.
Sure,
he didn't
he's
sound
a smart
like
guy.
An idiot when he talked about these types of. But
your views change as you grow as a person, So
19-year-olds don't run the world.
No, well,
so
not all of it. But so anyway, sorry I cut you off. Where were you going with this? You said
no. I just wanted to I just was mentioning that. I was just thinking about that whole thing of...
Yeah, you guys were both roommates, and...
Oh, right. Well, we're just, obviously not a match.
No.
So, that didn't happen.
No.
Because we were just, But we were both in, different closets.
Yeah, different types, yeah.
And that's, I'm afraid of violence. He's afraid of religion.
Sure.
And so, those are, the two things where...
Uh-huh.
And... I've had that's why I react so negatively when Mercury screamed in my face because it reminds me of what happened in the past. So that's tough for me to take. If somebody screams in my face, they're trying to demean me and berate me and diminish me without physically doing anything to me.
Sure.
But the threat of physicality is 100% there.
Yeah.
And that's very hard for me to take.
Sure.
That's how I grew up. That was...
Yeah. Well, yeah, older... You were the youngest sibling, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, that happens as a young sibling. You're the I did that to Eric. He's a fucking low man on the totem pole, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that's kind of what you get used to. But it's kind of like... Yeah, I mean, I haven't had Mercury on in a long time, but I'll probably never have him again because he is just never in one spot at a time. And
I mean, you could do what you want, but I wouldn't care to be in the same breathing space.
I don't understand this feud that's happened.
The feud is that when somebody...
I just want to go from his perspective here. He got mad because both you and I were needling him and making fun of him quite a bit.
I get that.
And he lashed out, which is totally... We were looking for a reaction, I think, from him. Because
I get that.
Tyler,
I get that.
Sorry, Mercury is a guy who has his heart on his sleeve. You know what I mean? This is a guy who tells everything and is very open with everything about every... You know what I mean? And so he tries...
And I will be totally honest in my response, which is that you are correct in what you're saying.
Yeah.
But... this isn't a negative on his part.
Yeah.
It's just... It's on me.
Sure.
It's like a very like visceral thing for me.
Sure.
That like when that screaming in my face starts,
Yeah.
it goes into like a instinctual.
Well, we talked about this,
thing.
the lizard brain, you know?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
you
it's
just-
something that like has been like put in there and
Yeah,
is there
hardwired.
forever.
Yeah.
And like, it's not that what he did was unforgivable.
Yeah.
It's that for me, I'm afraid of him now because
Yeah.
I'm afraid of being beaten. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to like,
Yeah.
I don't want to have the threat of like somebody like hitting me in the face and
Yeah.
because I'm not gonna like actually like fight somebody again.
Yeah.
It's over. Like not gonna do it.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. It just kind of like.
Well, I don't think that he realized what he was doing was that. You know what I mean? You have to imagine that.
I mean, yeah, I
Like-
get that.
And I'm sure he would feel terrible now, you know, with the benefit of hindsight, you know, over that, you know, because he didn't know. How would you know? That sucks. You know what I mean? Everybody is like that.
It's like somebody's tantrum could be somebody else's trauma.
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't know that.
You don't know that, you know. So,
That's very true.
which sucks, you know. And it was just, you know,
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, it's not like fair to him.
no. But, you know, I think there was fault to be had all around.
Well, I know.
Where we
I know
were-
we egged him on and fucked with him all the time. I know that.
I felt so bad for him too because he's a guy who is like just super like, you know, it's funny. Pete Holmes talks about this on in the new season of Crashing. He talks about like a little stand up thing where he's like super gullible and like he's like super like friendly and likable and gullible, and like somebody will like tell him this thing is a complete lie and he believes it, you know, and then he's like, oh, you're fucking gullible, what an idiot. And like, I'm an idiot for trusting you, for being a nice person and believing what you're saying, so I'm the idiot. Tyler's that kind of guy where you could just like tell him something like completely wrong and ridiculous and he would like fucking believe you. You know what I mean? And so he was really easy mark, you know what I mean? I think he just kind of snapped because we really pushed him real hard, you know. And
I mean, yeah.
And-
I mean, I wouldn't do that type of thing to somebody now.
yeah. We were in a different place, you know what I mean? Like it was a different time.
I feel bad about that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and believe me, I'm not like. No, I accept that. Like, I accept that the two sides of the fence, and like,
Yeah.
it'd be, you know. I mean, yeah, maybe you're right. Like, maybe I shouldn't like just because like the grudge that I hold against people who do that type of thing is really not directed at them, and that's maybe my fault.
I mean, no, I don't want to sell yourself short here, Lance. I mean, not 100%. I'm sure people fuck you over and they deserve to be grudged. You know what I mean?
Right.
It happens. There are assholes out there that deserve to be grudged. But you know, like I'm just saying, I don't think I could ever get in a room with that guy either because I don't think I could ever get time with him either. I don't even know where he lives. Isn't that weird when you have friends?
Well, you already removed all the scenarios, so why don't you just mention that right off the top, and
It's
then I
okay.
would have to actually like try to act like I would meet with him again.
Well, Lance, there's a door
I
over
thought
here.
you were acting like he was like, yeah.
There's a door behind me here. Here he is.
Thanks, Mari.
Oh my god! You just fucking get into a fucking argument and just throw a chair right away. No, he's off doing his fantastic burlesque thing. You know, like Matt, I think has seen him a couple times in his shows. They were living together for a little bit when he was in between places. I think they were roommates in college. He's got some good Mercury stories as a college roommate. You can imagine being roommate with him Have you ever been to a place that he's lived in, Mercury?
I'm
not going to say he's like this now. I'm not going to say he's like this now. But man,
he had a weird. I went to
through
like
a puppet
one
phase.
or two of them.
He has a lot of junk. He holds on to a lot of stuff because he performed.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something else.
No,
sorry.
wait, no. What was it? Let me hear this.
No, you said you had a lot of junk.
No, but I mean, like he just like does a lot of theater stuff. So I'll be like, oh, I'm going to hold on to this set piece. Put it in my second bedroom in my apartment. That's too expensive for me.
Do you remember when he had like the weird like perv photos that he showed us?
Yeah. I don't want to get into that because that was probably a regrettable experience. Well, he did like a nude photo shoot.
I doubt it.
With someone that we know as
he's
well.
Kind of, dude. He's
we saw them.
He's an exhibitionist. I don't think he was ashamed.
Oh no, for sure. Like
he was like bragging to us about how he got paid to pose. I mean, I get that.
I mean, I brag too, but but nobody wants.
What
to
do
see
you brag about?
I don't know. I'm saying I would brag.
I actually
too.
do want to know. What do you brag about?
What do I brag about?
Yeah, what do you brag about?
I don't brag. I'm not a bragger.
Were you just? Were you just joking?
What?
When you said you brag too?
Oh no, I said I would brag too if I did stuff like that.
His photos were that great.
Well, he didn't take them; he was just in them. But
hey,
no,
so like dour.
Oh, I'm trying to think.
The most dour nude photos I ever saw in my life.
What would I brag about? Let's bring it up here. What would I brag about? And let's talk about what you would brag about. I know you. Yeah. I think I would brag about the fact that I am very good with people and very good talking to people and making friends quickly, and being generally humorous and enjoyable to be around. And that's what I would brag about. I can connect with people very easily.
Yeah.
I'm a people person. I know it sounds like a cliche, but I feel like I can talk about that. And I feel like I'm really good at talking. And I do it a lot.
No, for sure.
And I do it a lot, which is why there's a podcast that I host every week. So I think that's one thing I could brag about.
Like if you talk to like weirdos before,
yes.
And then you're like
you?
Like you back it. Well, yeah.
We've had some weirdos on this show, but
no, not this show, but like
sure. Oh, you're talking about like in public.
In public.
Okay.
Where you're like, because it backfires your skill of talking. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, no, you're totally right because
then you're like, oh my god, now the weirdos are flocking to me.
We talked about gas station grifter. Remember this? You remember hearing about this? Or no, I talked about this not on Saturday Night Bite. There's a guy. So let's bring this up here because we can get the Lantz perspective on this. So I was at the gas station on Mineral Point Road near the PDQ. On Mineral Point Road near like the mall.
Yes, okay. I know the one.
Okay, yep. And I was getting gas. It was the night before there was going to be a big storm, big thunderstorm. I was like, I'm out of gas. I need fucking gas because I don't want to stop in the morning before work. And I get gas, and this car who's waiting there pulls a little bit in front of my car, and the guy gets out and starts talking to me. It's like, hey, man, we're out of coolant. They don't sell any here. Do you know where I can buy some? I'm like, I don't know. It's like 10 o'clock, 10:30. I was like, I don't know who's open. I was like, there's a Target over there that might be open till like 11. I don't really know. Like, they might have what you need. And the guy's like, I got to get back to our house. And he's with his wife. And this is like a 45-year-old man. And I was like, I don't know, like, where you can get that.
Not my problem, dude.
Okay, yeah.
Like...
This is me, though. And I wanted to get out of this situation quickly. And he was just like, all right, well... where can we go, like that? And I was just like, I don't know, like somewhere. And he kept like pressing me about like where he could go. And he was like, well, I don't have any money to get this coolant. How much coolant cost? Like, and I was like, I don't know, like $5-10 for like a thing.
What the fuck am I listening to?
Exactly. And my bullshit meter's going off in this, but I want this conversation to end as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I also do.
And as soon as he brings up the money thing, I was just like, I need to go. Like, this is ridiculous because you're running some sort of grift here, and I'm not gullible. And this is why I felt okay with what happened because I was like, I'm not gullible. I'm going 100% in this, knowing that if I give this man any cash, I'm never seeing it again. He gave me a phone number, and he said,
"Of what?"
His phone. so I could give him my address for him to mail a check to.
Oh yeah, that'll happen.
Exactly. I usually don't carry any cash, but I had cash on me, so I gave him a $20 bill.
Oh.
And I knew, but here's the thing: I knew as soon as I gave it to him, I was giving him this money to get him to leave me, so I didn't have to talk to him anymore.
That sucks, though.
Because there was a storm coming, and I didn't feel threatened by this guy. And this is a downside of my personability is I get approached by strangers all the fucking time to talk to me.
No, I get it.
I'm like a magnet, and so
when I break down and give a fucking guy money, it's always like for me, like I feel bad about it because I'm like enabling and like also I don't really want to give them anything because I'm already giving them money.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, here's $2, and you give him 20, and I'm like, oh,
it's what he asked for.
I'm like, he's gonna be just having a ball with his $20 bill.
But here's the thing, to me,
no, but I get that it's not a big deal. Let him have the 20.
Here was my.
It's not important to you to have the 20. I'm just saying that like it's like. For me, I've worked downtown so much.
I'm still a little sour over it, but.
It should be a little bit. You're probably not going to give somebody 20 again.
No, if only because the situation I was in was it was going to rain. It was supposed to like fucking downpour, and I just wanted to get the fuck home before it was going to happen. So I didn't want to get fucking rained on. And so I was just like, get the fuck out of here. Like, just whatever. And then when the money came, I was like, God damn it! Like, I thought you were just asking for direction. This is how a grift works every time. When somebody asks you for direction, it's because they want money from you.
Oh yeah.
This happened to me in Chicago once, and this guy was like, "Hey, I need to get to this street." Like, he came up to me and was like, "Do you know how that? Can you look it on your phone?"
Have you developed the like cold heart that I have?
I have somewhat.
Have you been in a parking lot where somebody actually touches your window after you just get...
Oh, yeah. A guy walked into my door once, and I couldn't shut it.
Probably the same guy I talked to.
Well, this guy was deaf, and it was really weird because he couldn't talk. And he had a note that he handed me.
Yeah, I know that guy. I remember that.
And
he's pretty unique.
I had no cash, and I was just like, I have no cash. Sorry, I can't help you. And that's usually my excuse. And this is what happened with that guy who in Chicago came up to me, and I looked on GPS and I was like, oh, like if you go down this street for like a couple miles, you'll get there. It was a ways. And he was like, oh man, that's a long ways. I could get there. Do you have any like money for cab fare I could borrow?
No.
And I was just like,
of course not.
And then the thing was like, I don't have any cash, and I literally had no cash because I don't carry cash, because carrying cash is pointless sometimes. I like to carry it now because sometimes you need cash. But like I usually when I'm traveling on like vacation, I don't carry cash because I don't need it. You know what I mean? I pay with card everywhere. And so the guy's like, and I was like, no. And he was like, all right, fine. Like, sorry. I was like, sorry. And he just left. And I was like, that's how you get out of those. But I knew it was that. And I don't want to sound like I'm gullible here, because with Gas Grifter, I knew 99.99% he was grifting me, and I was never going to see that money again. But I think a plus on his grift was that he had his wife in his car with him, who dictated a phone number to me that I put into my phone as part of his grift. Probably a fake number, whatever. He just gave us a random number.
Okay. And this is like...
I called it twice and sent a text, and then I stopped. Because I thought, maybe, just maybe, this man is actually in desperate need of coolant. He needs to get home, and I'm going to make their horrible night of being trapped in a storm okay. There was just a chance, and I was feeling generous at the time, and I was just like, you know what? I'm never going to see this 20 again, but maybe I will have been the good person, because I want to be a good person. Because if I was in a situation where, and I've done this before for people, and it really was for real. There was a girl whose car had, I don't remember, she just needed a ride, and I drove her like 2 blocks down somewhere so she could go to a gas station and get like call phone. You know what I mean? Like, and like that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I always want to be the type of person where if I was in a desperate spot, that someone would be like me. You know what I mean? I should have probably not given him the money because I kind of knew it was 100% a grift when it was going down, just because of the way it kind of turned into slowly directions to money, which is like, because usually when someone's not grifting you and they're like, "Fuck, my car broke down. Can I get like $5 to get some gas so I can put it in the car because I don't have any cash, my card's not working," that's probably not a grift, because usually they try and like slow ball you into getting to know them a little bit, and like being nice, and they're like, "Hey, you got $5? I can't believe they asked for 20 for coolant.
They got it though.
I know. Well, I would have asked for 10, and the problem was I only had 20s, so it was just like, fuck. If I'm going to give him any money to make him go away, it's got to be 20. I could just lied and said I didn't have any cash. Sorry.
By the way, I did want to mention.
Sure.
I went downtown last night.
Yep.
Went to the Argus.
Okay.
I feel like that place should be renamed the Drinking Box.
Okay. Why?
It's all a rectangle box with hideous ceiling tiles. And it's just like cunty college students who are just like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe them.
Is this where your Twitter came from? Because you were talking about college students were the worst?
I can't tell if they're like, if they're being more cunty or I'm being more cunty as I get older.
The reason why...
I can't tell the two things.
There's one thing I say about Madison. I love Madison, but Madison is the best from May 20th to August 15th.
Why? What happens then?
Because there's no college kids in town. And it is a much quieter downtown. The bars are much emptier, and it's not all these fucking 21-year-olds or 20-year-olds sneaking in, being awful. Yeah,
because that's what they are.
It's a better city. But
they're hardly like.
I believe you called them subhuman at one point.
They're hardly bipedal beings, John.
So anyway, that's what I would brag about.
I mean,
with
I
myself.
just don't like the way they talk to people. They're just like so. And I know I'm generalizing. I get that, but everything's so like forceful and angry.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, you don't know anything and you don't empathize with anything, so I don't really want to hear your mouth. So like, you can be quiet for a while. And it's like, but then you have 10 of them. You have 10 of these yapping mouths who are all like, "Meh, why can't I have the things that way I want it?" And meh, why can't... And it's like, because you don't know shit. And then it's just like, oh, what are they going to do? Like, they're going to like attack me because they're retards? Like, I can't take them. They're stupid. They're like, these people are stupid. Some of them are like not that dumb, but at the Argus, they were quite dumb. Like, I had a hard time with their stupidity. Yeah. It was like,
I like...
And the Argus is a bad bar. I hear they have a good basement, so maybe I should check that out before giving the...
the no.
I don't know why we didn't go down there. Yeah. I was hanging out with somebody. We had 3 drinks there, and he never said that we should go down there. Yeah. And I hear nothing but great things about that basement.
I think one interesting thing, I just want to bring it back to finish off my thought here.
Yes.
The reason why I'm doing stuff like gas station grifter, fully knowing that I'm going to give money away to a stranger who's just going to probably buy a fucking 12-pack of beer somewhere, is I had Keegan-Michael Key on this show at one point, way back when. And I've talked to him, and he was a friend of one of my college professors, and so we actually went over to their house and had a party and talked to him.
Was he the guy who did the Get Out movie?
No, that is Jordan Peele. This is Key.
Okay, right. I got
Michael Key, the other half of Key and Peele, the guy who acts, whereas Jordan Peele said he's no longer going to act.
Like more Indian looking?
Absolutely not. I think he gets that all the time. He is 100% African American.
Okay.
But anyway.
I'm sorry for saying that.
Fair enough. I think he actually probably joked about that before because he's just the way he looks. He's very...
eyebrows or something.
Anyway. But hearing him talk and the type of person he is, and having heard it described on the Key and Peele show of the type of person he is, and knowing like that's exactly how he is he's the type of guy where you go out in the street and you see he sees a homeless person, he wants their life story, wants to help them get some food and this, because he is just the nicest person you've ever met. And if you talk to him and you're in a conversation with him, he will make you feel like you're the only person in the room. Like, he is just that magnetic of a person. You know what I mean? And I had the experience of talking with this person, meeting him, and I was like, I want to be like this person. I want to just be very nice. You know what I mean? And it's something that I wasn't always that way. I haven't always been that way because I can be kind of snarky. But I always want to try and be as nice as I can. I don't want to be some fucking all-day sucker.
I've thought about this, though.
Sure.
But you can continue.
Sure. No, fair enough. I'm just saying I strive to be that good. I want to be a good person. I want to be helpful and nice. And maybe Madison's not the place for me. Maybe I need to get back to the small town because these big city folks are going to take advantage of a person like me. But anyway, no, what was your thoughts? Sorry.
Well, I mean, and I don't mean to undermine anything what you said. It's totally cool. Okay,
so here's the undermining happening.
But like, if you think about like being yourself and what you really think.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is just my own opinion.
Sure.
I know that like my own personality can be very like heartfelt and caring, and it can also be completely vicious.
Yes. You have two sides of the kill coin, if you will.
I know that about myself.
Sure.
So I wouldn't like aspire to adapt another person's personality.
Uh-huh.
Just recognize your own and just kind of like do that.
Yeah.
I know that. That's why when I write stories, there's heartwarming, sweeping chapters, and then there's completely vicious, angry chapters.
Yeah.
And they follow one another. And it seems like two writers because it's weird.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, that's what you're going for.
Well, I mean, it's just how I think.
Sure.
It's not even what I'm going for. It's just like, that's just how I think.
Sure.
But anyway, you are you. I mean, like, you have your ways. Like, they don't include, like, you're more easygoing than I am.
I am very easygoing, as I've been told. Probably too much sometimes, because I'm pretty laid back. I know that's a detriment to me in the professional world sometimes.
Really?
I've been told this. Yes. When I was an RA and stuff, people think that I'm just so laid back that I'm not involved, or like care or am engaged. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, no, I'm just laid back because I'm laid back. Like, I just,
God, you know what's so annoying about that? It would only take like 2 seconds for you to get like, quell all that bullshit. You'd just be like, challenge somebody on something forcefully once every now and then, they would shut the fuck up.
No, I know. It's not.
I know it's like shitty to say that, but it's reality.
I know. Well, I'm not saying it's a detriment. I can handle myself here, but it's just.
Because I remember the girl that. Yeah, I remember the whole thing, and it's just like. It's like if I wanted to, if I'm putting myself in your shoes, if I wanted to, I could say things that couldn't be unsaid to you. But I could say that to anybody.
Yeah.
Because that's the vicious side.
Yeah.
And I really try to, like, not enable that side.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the bad side.
That's the bad side. The bad side of the kill coin, as I said.
Pretty much.
It
does exist.
But, no, but, like, I don't know. I just try and be nice. I don't know. I don't really have. I guess when I say the laid back attitude is I don't really have problems with it because I also get shit done as well. So you kind of like the idea of that is it's more of a perception and less of a fact because like you can be perceived as being laid back, but when you get your fucking shit done and you get like projects moved, it's like. Yeah, you get the results. Results speak for themselves, and that's kind of a nice thing.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, in like, I know people who are delusional.
Yeah.
Who make up things.
And they think they can be a stand-up because they watch a bunch of stand-up.
Those types of people, yes.
Yep.
Also, people who who
I
brag.
just want to say props to Billy, having looked at his Facebook page and him being in an improv class and group of people.
That's
Hey, you're
true.
fucking doing it now, man.
I'm happy that he's
Good.
like making an attempt.
Exactly. Work at it, man. Anyway, more power to you. But anyway,
But
go.
my last thing was on this subject was just kind of like, and this is like the subject of liars.
Yes.
Because I don't know if like, I don't know how you feel about this.
Yeah.
Or if you could, you read people, right?
Sure.
You know how to like tell
Yeah.
things about people, right?
Yeah. I wanted to be a psychiatrist when I started college for like a good half year, you know?
All right.
But then I was like, nah, there's no money in that. I'll just do biology because I like trees,
That makes sense. I mean,
which there's no money in either. But, you know, with the science degree,
at least
you
you're
can
not peddling drugs.
No. Well, I was when I worked for the drug company. But regardless, you know, those are legal opioids. No, okay, anyway.
But here's the issue I've been running into recently.
Sure.
And I don't know if it's like something inherent in my own personality or what, but
Uh-huh.
do you think I'm a good person to lie to?
Good person to lie to? No.
Like, I could be a very bad person to lie to, I think.
I don't think that you would be a good person to lie to because I don't think you as a type of person, knowing your skeptical personality, to believe a lie. I don't think you could get it by you. You know what I mean? Like it's just, you're not a person I'd lie to. Who's the someone I would lie to? Mercury would be a person I'd lie to. You could lie to
You could lie, you know.
because he's very trusting. I think probably you could lie to me. You could lie to Adam, maybe.
I don't think I could lie to you.
Well-
You're pretty smart.
Yeah, it's true, I suppose. But you were living the lie for all those
You
years.
may believe it for like 10 seconds and then
Fair enough. I'm very skeptical.
and then like I feel like a couple minutes later you catch up with it.
Sure.
You'd be like,
Yeah. No, but anyway, I don't think so, Lance. You would be not a good person to lie to.
see, and that's like almost like a character fault because I ran into a scenario 2 times in a
Sure.
row where I was talking with guys
Uh-huh.
and one of them they noticed that I had the Yuri on Ice
Yep.
figure skating outfit.
Yep. They knew what it was.
Well, he knew it was a figure skating jumpsuit.
Okay.
He didn't know that where it came from.
Fair enough. Which is weird to me. That you would not know that but know what a figure
He
skating
knew this
jumpsuit.
side. Well, he actually used to figure skate.
Really?
That's why.
Oh,
that's why
okay.
he noticed.
Okay, fair enough, yeah.
And so I was like, "Oh yeah."
That
I had
speaks
this-
volumes to Yuri on Ice as an anime, that their costuming could be figured out by someone who is not into the anime but is into figure skating. Like, oh, I know what that you're wearing. You know, like, okay, cool, go on. Yep.
Right, and like it was totally cool, and I mean, I wasn't like really that into him. It was just like,
Sure.
I would like to chat though. I can be able to chat with people.
Yeah.
And then, like halfway through of our 5-minute conversation,
Sure.
I started asking him about his career because I was
Yeah.
like, well, you used to figure skate. Like, what did you do? Like, where'd you go where you figure skated? And
Yeah.
like, what was your best moment and stuff?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I still do. And I immediately was just like, what?
Yeah.
Because he was like in his like mid to late 30s and
Yeah.
he wasn't in shape.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean?
Why would you lie about that?
And he's like, well, you can still figure skate in your 60s.
Uh huh.
And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Sure.
Like, if there's people figure skating in the 60s, more power to them.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not selling a lot of tickets.
Lance, I'm gonna tell you something here. I know you're in the dating world now. You know, you've had to go to a different playing field. Basically, you're doing thing. But one thing you see is when people use like dating profiles, everyone says they like hiking, but nobody hikes. You know what I mean? This guy used to figure skate. He's like, yeah, I still do. But he hasn't done it in a long time. I think he thinks
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm just saying everybody tells these little lies, though, Lance.
That's why I'm bad to lie to. Because it
You
becomes
just-
awkward when somebody lies to me.
You just can't take it. the lie. You
No.
just can't get past it. Fair enough.
Because then, like, I had nothing to say to him after that. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. And I started, like, looking down at the bar, and then I was like, well, then. Mm-hmm. Like, I couldn't talk to him anymore.
That's fair enough, because there are people that go on like Tinder profiles and stuff and look at people and see like some of the bullshit. Like, I like to go hiking, camping, and like they do not look like the type of person that actually does that. And it's like, you're lying. Clearly, you're fake. Just throw it away. Just swipe left or right. Left is bad, yes, because I know this because of LP and Run the Jewels. He calls himself a living swipe right on the mic, which is a great lyric. And so I'm like, oh, so right's good, left is bad. I don't know. I never have dated in the technology era. I've been with the same person for 10 years this year, coming in this fall. So,
well, yeah. I would want to mention too.
Sure.
The other example of me being. So one guy says to me,
"Sure.
Guess what my age is?"
Okay, interesting.
And I kindly estimate him at 35.
Sure, yeah, you're being generous.
I think he's 38.
Sure.
39 possibly.
Okay.
And he's like, no, 31.
Why? Okay, Lance, when you thought he was 38, why didn't you guess 30?
Why didn't I?
I'm trying to be nice to
He
you.
wasn't even close. He's not 30.
Yeah. This is why I'm saying, Lance, you're not a person you can lie to.
Fucking wrinkles on the sides of his eyes.
You can't put anything past Lance. That's what I'm saying. That's why I wouldn't try and lie to you. Why would I?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't want to be like totally cutthroat.
Yeah.
But don't lie to me because like it's obvious.
Yeah, well, that's fine though.
It's obvious to me when you are lying.
Put up with that bullshit.
Like, I know everybody has their own little lies.
Uh-huh.
And
Big
that's
Little
fine.
Lies on HBO.
Yes, HBO. You must watch
Big
it.
Little Lies.
But everybody
Award
has their Big Little Lies.
Yes.
But then, I don't know. Like sometimes I get like so like, even if I'm drunk,
yeah,
I get like my mind can be like razor sharp, and I'm just like,
sure.
It becomes awkward when somebody my vibe can make them feel awkward just on the whole reaction. Sure. Because if somebody tells me they're 31, and I'm like, oh well, I was way off. This is how this conversation went. I said 35. I thought they were 38. 39 probably. Mm-hmm. He was like, oh, I'm 31. Pff, not a chance in hell. So I'm
I'm 32. So do you look older or younger than
Not
me?
even close.
Well, I look very young, to be fair. I have a boyish face.
You could be 34.
Oh, but I'm only 32, Lance.
Oh, you're older than me.
Yeah, but I'm 32. I mean, that's the facts of it. I'm going to be 33 this year.
Okay, sorry, I said the wrong age.
Yeah, that's right, Lance. You fucking asshole. You've done to me what you did to this man, but I wasn't trying to lie to you.
That's true. He was fucking way off, though.
That's so weird. Like, why even try that dumb
Why
shit
is
like
he
that?
asking me if he's gonna lie?
Yeah.
Hey, guess how old I am?
Maybe he
You know what I've never said to somebody?
What?
Hey, guess how old I am? I've never said that.
Hey, man, it's just the world you live in. I'm glad to be out of that dating pool, playing the games. Fucking bullshit.
I know.
It's
I have
nice.
to deal with all the fucking male whores and assholes.
Well, yeah.
There's elements I like, but then, and it's like, it's a lot of positive.
Yeah.
But my God, I have to tell you about like one of the texts I sent somebody.
Sure.
I mean, I try to be nice even when I'm being mean.
Sure.
So if I'm like doing both at the same time, and if you really know me,
yeah,
you know I'm really fucking pissed off. If I'm like giving you compliments and then like telling you that there's something that bothers me, I'm like 100% more pissed off about the thing that bothers me than the compliments.
Sure.
Compliments don't mean anything.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, and one person made me livid.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't know about how you consider this whole scenario, but I don't know. I would just say that I can't get into the whole scenario, but I would say this. Like, if somebody, like, cheated on me, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
With another guy, and the scenario was what it was, okay. When somebody cheats on me with another sex, I'm furious.
Okay.
I got fucking furious over this. Like, I don't know why.
You're saying this guy slept with a woman in
Yeah.
that period. Did he say he was bi?
No.
Oh, well, misrepresenting himself.
And I would never, like, date... I know after this, I would never date a fucking bisexual, ever.
Fair enough. I mean,
it's
the way that you get to pick who you want to be with. It's just not for you.
Who is not fair game when you're dealing with a bisexual?
Saying there's too much danger out there. You're saying anything is a vector of...
Anything that moves can apparently be fucked at that point.
Okay. I mean, that's being a little bit reductivist to those who are bisexual. But I get what you're saying, though. And that's a thing that you think about. Like, I know people that are bisexual are often ostracized by the gay community because you're not really on anyone's side. You know what I mean? You're Switzerland. You know, you're like, I'll take what I like. You know, I don't have to pick a side. You know, whichever one suits me. Which is, I mean, it could be the way you're wired. You know,
it feels like to me like they don't even want to choose you though.
I mean,
they don't tell you though, because bi people will not tell you they're bi.
Yeah,
they'll let you know when they cheat on you.
Okay.
Because if they let you know that you're bi, you're not going to want to date them in the first place.
I feel like there's some people...
Some chicks will date bi guys. And some gay guys will date bi guys.
I'm sure they would just be like, well, if he sleeps with a woman, it's like, well, it's, you know, it's not what I can give him, so... So it's fine, you know? It's not the same. I don't know. I'm just trying to run through scenarios in my head here. But I mean, I don't know. I guess you got to be the way you are.
Well, it's like a betrayal of, like, just... If somebody
I
doesn't
think cheating on
you,
someone in any way is a betrayal.
That's very true.
You just think it stings worse because you were being lied to twice.
Yes, very well put. That's very well put.
You thought you were with someone who was...
Because, like I said, the bi people will never tell you that they'll act gay, they'll be gay, they'll be with you, and then suddenly they fuck a chick.
Yeah.
Then I'm fucking furious.
Okay.
Like, I don't like that whole, like, playing both sides of the fence for your own gain.
Yeah.
Pick a side. Like...
Fair enough.
Fucking, like, I don't know. Until you've... And believe me, some people could not like that statement. Until you've, like, actually had it occur directly with you.
I think you
Tell me how it feels when it happens.
I think you said... I feel I like following your Twitter because I believe there's a point where you said something of like, "Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned," and you said something about how like now I'm the one who's scorned or something. So you better be ready for me. And I was like, "Oh, Lance, something's a brewing here."
Yeah, it was pretty much the same subject. It was the same person. And I said that the last part to that was that it was I'm sure this applies to gay men as well. And then I said, by the way, I'm scorned one.
I'm the scorned one, yes. So
I'm not like but yeah. No. I mean, I feel like Twitter's useful to me to like let out emotions that are, I don't know. I have like all these different facets to like get out everything where it's like I have my creative writing. I write in my journal. I talk to my friends. and I try not to burden them too much, but I know
Sure.
like sometimes there are moments where I
Uh-huh.
fucking go overboard and talk about things too much.
Yeah.
And then I have Twitter. So I have like 4 ways to like kind of like express myself.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like between all of them I feel like it's it's like I'm trying to keep like steady.
Sure.
I want to be steady, and like I don't know if you had panic attacks before, right?
Yes, I did. And this is actually something I almost wanted to bring up because, people think I'm really laid back and that. But I've had anxiety issues, like it's one of those things. And that's, I think, part of the reason why I try and be so laid back is because when I was going through that time in my life and having panic attacks, and this is why like people are like, oh, I feel like I'm kind of like a stoner who doesn't smoke weed, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I can't, because weed triggers my anxiety.
Makes you
It
hyperventilate.
It makes me bad. It doesn't work for me. It's a stimulant that in my body chemistry, it just makes me go fucking bonkers. So I wish I could, but it doesn't relax me. And so I always have tried to, and I got through it without any medication because I don't want to be on medication as much as I can because I like to try and control myself as much as I can. Obviously, if I was in need of it by a doctor, I would take it. But one of the greatest tools for anxiety is the ability to meditate and be calm. And for me, I use different techniques of breathing and counting to 10 and mindfulness and trying to breathing exercises. And so that worked for me, and you just kind of have to that. And so that's why I try and be as laid back as I can, because I know I get really in trouble when I get stressed. So I need to try and be that laid back person. Because,
I totally like, and for me, like journal writing helped.
You got to have the outlet,
And then I was like, because I realized I was like burdening my friends with like information, and I was like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
But like when you're in the middle of like nervous breakdown, you don't really have a lot of context. And so when I
think journaling is good. I wish I could do it more. I should do it more because it's really cool to go back. I know you, and this is a negative for Lance, you like to destroy the stuff that you've created.
Yeah.
A lot of times because I feel like you get embarrassed about what you've written.
I have.
Because you're very much a perfectionist. And I think that's a negative thing to do because I know you're a perfectionist and you don't like looking at stuff that wasn't perfect that you finished. But I think you just got to get over that personally. Because I think when you write these journals about the feelings that you're having now and like unburdening yourself, that's cool to hold on to. I'm just saying don't destroy stuff like that. Because that's something that you could look at 20 years from now and be in a situation to read that and be like, I got over it then. I can, and feel the feelings you had then and look back at it and kind of and learn from it. Or maybe it's your life, Lance. Live it however you want.
Well, I don't think I'll destroy those ones. I was just like a different person before.
Sure.
But I feel like everything I did.
I feel the stuff that you create is good, even if it's not perfect to you. So it shouldn't be destroyed.
I will say this.
I'm a person who keeps everything.
I feel like
though.
everything. I'm sorry, what?
I'm a person who keeps everything, though. So maybe it's a different type of personality.
I feel like everything I did until like a year ago.
Sure.
And this story, I talked to you about the story that I'm working on a couple years ago.
Sure.
And I've been like working on it. I think it'll be done this year, but whatever.
Yep,
whatever
keep
happens,
working on it,
happens.
Yeah.
I was like, even if I finish it and I read it in 10 years and I'm the only audience, I'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I have talked to people who have proofread published books and stuff. But you know what's funny?
Sure.
I would talk about a little bit about like the audience for the book and the point of the book.
Okay.
It's not like I'm not going to go on long like harangue about it.
Sure.
But I just want to say like I was talking to him about like some of the comments and moments in the book.
Sure.
And I respected his opinion because he had been critiquing published authors.
Sure,
He'd done a couple published authors. But here's the thing. Here's what like kind of set my book apart from anything else.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, dude, I'm totally open to criticism because I could always like save my own version, and there could be two versions. There could be my version. There could be a version for everybody else.
A director's cut, if you will.
But I wouldn't let anybody else see it.
Sure.
If it's not like if I'm not allowed to publish it, I will not. Like, it's not something that I'm not gonna make available. It'd be like, no, it's just for me personally, like, because I don't want like those weird versions out there. We need 3 different cuts of fucking Blade Runner. Yeah. Running around out there doing God knows what.
Sure.
So I was like talking to him.
Well, nobody knows because nobody saw it.
No. Well, yeah. But I was talking to him, and he wanted to change some of the lines because they were kind of like, he said they were cheesy. And I just like, I came to a realization. I was like, here's the thing though, dude. As much as I respect your intellect and I love, like, you're cool as a friend and like, I always listen to what he says. It's like, here's the thing. You're probably not a good fit for like editing this. And I'm being subjective.
Sure.
Because some of the gay stuff makes you uncomfortable.
Oh, okay.
This is a gay book written for a gay audience. Like, I'm not fucking around with that. Like, a straight audience won't fucking read any of the shit. I guarantee they won't. Okay. Like, which is fine. But I feel like there's not enough, like, literature or kind of, like, things that are available. Like, if you're gay, you live in another person's world. Yeah. So I want to write a story that's all in our world, and then for us. So, like, why not? And then
FUBU.
Yes.
For us, by us.
And, like, it just kind of, like, I don't know, you have to be careful about, like, who edits things or does things because they may be coming from a different angle, whereas I think some things make them uncomfortable. Yeah. And then for others, it's kind of like, yeah, it's fine, it's no problem. Yeah. And it's like, well, who's the audience? And there'd be, like, a book that would, like, sell a lot or be commercial. But I don't know. I feel at this point in my life, it'd be kind of, like, absurd to write something about straight couples. It'd be like, no, that's not where I'm at right now. I don't want to hear about it.
Well, it's not your area of expertise, really.
No.
You know, so.
I'm just saying, like, when you write, like, you've written. Yeah. Don't you think, like, when you, as much as you want to hear someone else's opinion about what you do. Sure. You really have to, like, kind of think about where they're coming from also. When they do. Like,
yeah. You got to know your audience. Like, are these some other people that are just looking to nitpick or wanting, or they actually, or, you know, because, like, sometimes when you have, I ask, like, someone else for, like, their opinion on something, like, professionally and work that you've done, you know, you got to think, like, okay, are they just trying to be obtuse or negative because they just want to kind of swing their dick around, you know, and be like, okay, I get your input here, but we're going to go a different way. Like, you just are they're just trying, because, like, you know, this happens in the professional world all the time when you make something or do something, and then somebody just has to get their opinion in because they just want to have a opinion that differs, you know? You're just kind of like, all right, but, you know, it's fine the way
Which is the most pathetic style of critique that's ever existed.
Yeah.
Believe me, people who say things that aren't true to draw attention to themselves are the most pathetic of critiques.
Yeah. It always bothers me when people...
That's why I can't stand that.
Yeah, I mean, the criticism that really sucks. I've been in a lot of arguments about criticism over this because I kind of dislike a lot of criticism that is maybe like how I would have done it criticism versus like how it was presented. Like, you shouldn't argue with what is in the content is as much as why it's not exactly what you wanted, but it should be whether or not the person writing this or the person performing this or the person acting this is doing it in the most truthful way as to what they're trying to get across. Like, are they getting across? So, like, if you have a movie, like you made fun of, or you were talking about how you didn't like the movie Mother because there was a bad performance in it. And the bad performance wasn't, you were saying wasn't because you would have done it a different way. You were saying because it didn't work for what she was trying to put across. You know what I mean? And that's the correct way to criticize something, is to say, I know what they were going for, and it wasn't done in that correct way, in my opinion. Like, it didn't come across. I didn't as a viewer,
the layers weren't there for me.
Feel this was done in the correct way. And whether it was that performer's problem, or it was the editing's problem, or the director's problem, something was fucked up. Like, it just didn't work. So, and that's kind of a thing. And you always hate criticisms where someone is always like, well, I would do it this way. I would have done this. I would have, I think it would have been better if they would have chose to do this thing. It's
Those are the worst. They are the worst.
You're not if you want to fucking come up with how to do something, make your own thing.
It's embarrassing for critics.
And then Roger Ebert did when he wrote, his scripts, and then it was pretty good.
But then he went full circle and ended up being the same thing.
Yeah.
Eventually, he ended up saying that type of shit, and it was just like, dude, you're embarrassing yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, if it meant so much to you to tell that story, you'd go tell it.
Yeah.
Guarantee somebody would have fucking made a Roger Ebert movie in the 90s if he wrote one.
Yeah.
But he didn't write anymore. Mm-hmm. Gave up writing. Mm-hmm. And then he just sat there and started to tell other people who wrote things how inadequate they were. He was such a bad critic. Like, I'm sorry. Roger Ebert...
Oh, there's a hot take here. I love Roger Ebert.
Like, he had great moments, and the great moments he had are the ones that we think of with him.
There are incredible writings that he's done.
But he also had moments that were just like...
Well, he had some weird blind
What
spots.
fucking axe to grind did he have sometimes? It was so weird.
Here's the problem with criticism, is that they basically... You look at everything, see everything, you got to have an opinion about everything. So you're not going to be good 100% of the time.
You end up full of yourself if you do it enough, right? Is that it?
Not that. I just think that sometimes people end up having taste and axes to grind that the audience as a whole doesn't. You're never going to agree with 100% of what Roger Ebert has to say. And that's one of the best, like, my God, fucking 2 hours in here. And then we're talking about the thing of criticism.
It drove me crazy how he totally absorbed and loved everything that was like a sappy movie for 25 years. It was like, hey, if you have you have a kid who's under the age of 14 who cries at some moment, 2 thumbs up, guaranteed. Like,
regardless of all this,
where was his real criticism? Well, he was never criticizing story structure or anything. He was always just like,
okay, let's get off the Roger Ebert hate train for a second. Well, I think one thing that he did that was good that critics do, and that is an important thing, is to have your own personal voice. And it's like, okay, I know how Roger Ebert's going to react to this because I know him, and then I know for this movie I'm not going to listen to his opinion because I know it's going to be altered because he writes for himself. You know what I mean? He writes as himself. And so for you, in that respect, you can see it as he's always going to be ridiculously positive for this type of movie, even though he shouldn't be. He's not being critical enough. But like to me, and I appreciate that in a critic when they can be, when I know how they're going to react to something. And so I know, okay, if I'm on the fence about this thing, I know how their opinion lines up with my opinion. Did they like this? I'll probably like it. You know what I mean? I like it when I can. And for Roger Ebert, maybe for certain movies, I'd want his opinion. For other movies, I'd probably, seek opinion elsewhere to get a gauge on it. But
I think his ego, though, like soiled a lot of his critique. Where I remember his quote about Clockwork Orange, where he said, "It left me cold," and. It's like...
I'm sure every reviewer, though, would want to take something like that back, if they could.
Isn't that a bad critique, though, to say something like that? Suddenly, it's not a movie for audience. Yeah. It's a movie for Roger Ebert. And you're saying, it left me cold. Stanley Kubrick should have made this movie for me. It should have been good.
I think
I'm cold now because it wasn't made for me. It's like he started to think that things should be catered to him. And honestly... I think movies started to be catered to him because of what a big reputation he had as a critic. I think stupid movies.
He was at one point like the film critic you thought of.
Do you remember like the late '90s, early 2000s? I wouldn't be surprised if movie changes were made based on his opinion.
Yeah.
How's Roger gonna react to this?
Yeah.
I'm sure it happened.
Yeah.
He probably ate it up.
I mean, and I think one important thing about being a good critic is that, like, there are some critics, and I'll go into this, at least in terms of video games. Tom Chick writes for quarterto3.com, and which is a website on the internet, and I disagree with his reviews a very large portion of the time because he always seems to. If it's something I like, I know he's going to hate it. If it's something I hate, but I love reading them because they're written so well as to why I understand why he hated it. And he doesn't make any qualms about how it's not good because that he's saying for him, it's a pass. And I know because he articulates it in such a good way of why it didn't work for him. And I can disagree with that
That's
myself.
good criticism.
And that's the way it is when you can read something where they trash something that you liked and you understand why they did it. And then you understand, well, for me, I don't agree with these points, but I see where you're coming from. And so I get it, And so that's always good. And I think that's something you should strive for, when you criticize stuff like that, So.
Well, I think that, and that'd be, my last point on the whole subject.
Yeah, we got to wrap her up here.
Yeah, we're wrapping up. I just think that, I read criticism of music.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it, not only does it show other people's points of view on the subject matter, but it also is kind of, enlightening if they make good points.
Sure.
And then I end up learning more about music.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like the same is similar for other critiques. And that's all I'm trying to say. It's I feel like there's a lack of, in movies, there's a lack of good critiques. And then in video games and music, it seems pretty it seems pretty specific where it's it seems almost razor sharp in video games.
Yeah.
I've read reviews for video games I haven't even played.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they are so specific about what they're talking about. And then I've read reviews for, because I follow some people who are into video games and they're funny. But I'm like, what is this Overwatch? I don't know what it is.
Sure.
But then I play albums and I listen to them and I go through certain websites and different reviewer points something out and then I've learned something.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying, I just feel like in film it's so lacking. There's so lacking of a real film critic anymore. There's not even Richard Roper's out there spouting nonsense, trying to get noticed.
Never liked Richard Roper.
Well, he's awful now. If he was decent with Ebert, he's ridiculous now. I mean, he's no tether or anything. He's just spouting nonsense.
Yeah, I think looking
film
back,
is just. I don't get it anymore.
I've actually found it really interesting to go back and look at movies that I liked and read criticisms from some famous critics on it and stuff and kind of see where it's at. I go back to Pauline Kael.
She is famous for being so great.
Incredible. Holy shit.
She's considered the best, right?
You can read a Pauline Kael review about a movie and have a completely different perspective on it and be like, I like this even more now, or holy shit, this is way worse than I remembered it because she's bringing, it was so
and she famously never watched the same movie twice.
Yeah,
which was fun.
I mean, she's
I respect that. I mean, if that's your method, it's a lot of her criticism were considered art in their own self.
Yeah, she's a great writer, so it's kind of one of those things. It turned it into an art form, of coming up with it. Yeah. So, I
do have to read more of her stuff.
Yeah,
I've heard about her a lot.
Yeah, we gotta wrap it up because we're getting on here. I need to get to bed because I gotta go look for more houses tomorrow.
That's true.
I'm tired.
I have a great time.
I'm tired of going to all these places and being outbid, but it's a tough market now. So
don't let them play you, John.
I won't. You can find me on Twitter at John_Danger. That's JON.
This stock market, people aren't in a rush to buy things, even if they act like they are.
Well, it's fine. I lost so much fucking money on that too. It's pissed me off. Whatever. Nothing you can do about it.
You must be tired of winning.
I'm retired. I'm retiring plenty of time from now, so that'll all be back up by the time I'm retired anyway. It's just dumb. It's not like fucking stock market.
Dude, 1 year after the president takes over is when the impact comes. You should have sold.
It's a market correction. The economy's so good right now; it's not going to go down for long.
Well, that's good then.
It's just people end up getting cold feet over a couple numbers, and they pull out, and then everyone's like, "Okay, but we're making a lot of money still, so I'm going to put money back in because."
Well, Jim Carrey called out Zuckerberg.
Sure. Jim Carrey's a fucking weirdo.
I'm just going to
No offense, Jim Carrey, but you're a weirdo. When you put on videos on Facebook of you proposing your love to Emma Stone in a really weird way is when you kind of lost me.
Can we talk about, like, before we go?
Yes,
like,
one last thing.
When you, like, hang yourself on a harness with paint bottles in your hands.
Does this happen at some point?
Yes.
Okay.
And you spray them onto a canvas on the floor.
Sure.
And talk about how creative you are.
Sure.
Jim Carrey. You're kind of weirdo.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know. Like, I feel like a mentally stable person wouldn't have to have a lawsuit dismissed on them in a wrongful death sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so, like, and he went nuts after that. And he's been nuts ever since.
Yeah.
And like, hey, yeah, we noticed. We noticed you're out of your fucking mind. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't mean to end it with the whole Jim Carrey downer.
What about Jim Carrey upper?
You know what? Riddler.
There
you go.
You watch the Riddler.
Now we're having a good time.
That's an upper. That's some unsanctioned buffoonery right there. All right. Well, we got to end. Thanks for listening.
Have a nice night.
Have a good time. I need to know what number episode this is, though.
Like 302 now.
Yeah,
right.
No, we're doing Saturday Night Bite, man.
Oh, it's Saturday Night Bite.
Yeah, but what episode number?
Like 9.
It's not 9. It's like more like 5 or 6.
Like 11.
It's 11. Well, let's skip 4 episodes, and then we'll come back and record them later and call them lost episodes.
There you go.
We found them in the archive. This was a mistake to open up Google Chrome because it is just not loading on this computer. All right, let me find it on my phone because I can't look it up on. Yeah, I got to talk into the mic. Let me just get that a little closer to my face so I can look at you while I'm doing it.
Right.
Okay, let me look. Maybe the internet has loaded on this old computer. Oh, Google Chrome has refused to load. So, born.
I'll be right back.
Yep. All right. Well, Lance left. He left me alone, naked and afraid. So this should be closer to my mouth. Gabba-dabba-dooba-dooba-dabba-dooba-dooba-dabba-dooba-da. 8. Episode 8. We're in episode 8. Lance had to run off to the bathroom quickly, which leads me to believe that we've had a few beers, so I'm assuming he's had to pee. He wanted to get it done before the episode aired, before we got ready. It was very courteous. I'm gonna make you come tonight over to my house.
I had to have heard that. That sounds almost familiar, actually.
Well,
Was it like a real hit? But
yeah, I mean, it could have been on like TV, you know.
like TRL.
Yeah.
I think it was mixed in with all that other shit that was on.
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah, of course.
Okay,
All
are
right.
we ready?
Yeah, pretty much. If you want to try and get close to the mic,
Yeah, I'm
that's all that matters.
adjusting
You want to
the
be
whole-
So a good cool thing with mics is you want to be about fist.
Okay.
About right there.
Okay.
Because then it maximizes. Yeah, you're good.
There we go.
Yep, that's good.
Okay.
I keep wanting to. There's a mouse pad here, and I keep wanting to like grab a mouse. All right, so I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
All right, let's start. It's episode 8.